to come on camera looking like this and letting you guys know that I'm feeling a little bit better and life is moving on when I look like I've been crying for the past like 48 hours straight. And hello everybody, it is Dingle here and welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are doing super duper well. I swear I haven't been crying for the past 48 hours, but you know, maybe this is just a reflection of how life's been going, which it has been going okay. And if I'm correct in knowing like which vlogs have already gone up, you and I have not sat down and spoken since sad news. And part of me wishes in a way that I would have picked up the camera in between the time of confirming the beta was officially negative and now, but also, is that a memory that I want to remember? You know, I think I captured the most important things that I think are pertinent to memories and pertinent to sharing our story. And I personally can't imagine having picked up the camera in between this time, and it's been really nice to be able to slowly but surely process my feelings, even though I'm not even sure that I'm fully processed them, but you know, one step at a time, while taking time for just Jack and myself to live life a little bit. As slow as that has felt, I don't know what time is anymore if I'm being honest, but to put everything into more context for you all, just so it's not super confusing, and I will get very specific about the timeline in an upcoming vlog so that you guys have a reference point as to what the timeline of a transfer cycle might be for you. But all you have to know right now for the context and timing of this video is that we've now lived 2 weekends knowing, pretty much knowing, like not officially knowing beta, but knowing that it didn't work out. And although the timeline has been an absolute blur, I wanted to fill you guys in on what life has kind of looked like since then. But what have we been up to? What have we been up to since finding out the most devastating news that I feel like I found out in this journey so far? Yeah, I would put this one at the top for sure. That first weekend, Jack and I felt like treating ourselves. We felt like going to the outlets and we felt like blowing some cash, because it feels really good when you're sad to buy yourself something that makes you feel happy. So first I wanted to show you guys what I got, because when we were shopping around, we went to the Freeport outlets here in Maine. I love the Freeport outlets. I found myself gravitating towards all comfy clothes, just like literally all loungewear. And some of you have complimented my loungewear collection, which is just the nicest compliment ever. I take quite a bit of pride when it comes to my loungewear collection, but I just simply added to it at the outlet. So the first place that I went into was Old Navy, because Old Navy's been slaying lately. Their prices not so much. I feel like their prices are very not cheap anymore, if I'm being honest, unless they're doing major sales, but I found some good deals. So the first thing that I found was this loungewear waffle print bralette. It's more so just a lounge bralette and it's so incredibly comfortable. I love the button details so much. And everything that I'm mentioning I got on sale, by the way. I freaking love finding a good deal, so I'm very pumped about that. And everything that I'm showing you guys I will leave linked down below in case you guys want to match me, because this loungewear is top tier. It's so comfortable. The next thing that I also found on sale were these sweat shorts. I've been wanting another pair of sweatshorts. I think I have 2 pairs that I rotate in my wardrobe currently, and so I added this one to the collection. I love the color, I love the length. It doesn't have fleece inside of it, so they're not too hot, which I really like. Especially in the fall when there's still some warmish days, you can wear a sweater on top and these nice fall colored shorts on the bottom. And then I think one of my favorite pieces, they're all my favorites, but it's these waffle joggers. You guys have already seen them, I believe, in one of my previous vlogs, but I am obsessed. This and the next thing that I'm about to show you is the outfit that I wore for I think 3 days straight after pretty much finding out that it didn't work out. So me and these joggers have a very special bond. They are so comfortable, they're not too hot, and I love the fit on them. The fit is absolutely perfect. I got them in a medium, and I'm usually a size like 6 to 8 if we're talking numerics. And then this top is from Aerie, and this was also on sale. And it is just everything. It's the perfect heaviness. I love the length. You can wear it completely like down and it doesn't cut you at a weird place. But I also kind of like to tuck one side in so it's a little slouchy. It kind of looks like something you would pick up from Free People, but it's a fraction of the price. And as you can tell, this green color has just been my vibe this season. My car is this green color. I've always loved this green color, but now it's just super easy to find. I feel like everything that's coming out this season has this winter deep green color, and I'm kind of obsessed with it. So yeah, as much as I did not want to exit the house at all that weekend, huge kudos to Jack, because he basically dragged me out of the house. I really thought that I was just going to have a bed day. I really thought I was going to have a couch day, and as much as I love doing that, there was just not a lot of good that would have come from that at that point for me mentally. And so getting out of the house and just getting distracted was really, really helpful. So that was that weekend. And then on that Monday, we found out our beta results, and that was a really sad day. I definitely got some work done that day, but made sure to get it done before I got the call for the beta results. So that afternoon was just really sad. But it seems like every day since we took the at-home test, there has been some sort of distractor that we've kind of forced ourselves to do since then, in between the emotional breakdowns. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely been some emotional breakdowns, like many, but the distractions are nice. So that Tuesday I gave my nail place a call, because this might sound weird, but I feel like a lot of you all might relate to this, but there are just some things that when I don't take care of them for myself, I just find that it subconsciously just makes me feel even worse and just blah. Like, one of them is obviously showering. Like, if I don't make sure that I am washing my hair every couple days and just feeling clean, that's like the blah feeling, you know? But another one is not making sure that I'm taking care of my feet. As weird as that sounds, maybe that's not weird, but throughout this whole process, I have had chipped nail polish on my toes from a wedding that we went to in August. And I'm not somebody that goes to the nail salon like every few weeks or anything like that, but every time I was down or every time I was lounging and I would just look down at my feet, I just felt crusty. Like, that's the best way I could describe it, just crusty. So I went and I got my toes done, I got my nails done. It's been like a week or so maybe since then, a little less than a week, so they're a little grown out, but it's just felt so nice to get everything cleaned up. And now I know since the winter is coming, my feet will be looking nice for a while, since I don't wear sandals necessarily anymore, and I just feel a little more put together, just a tiny bit more, and that actually does go a long way. Some new loungewear, some cleaned up cuticles, like, just, it's a vibe. And then for Thursday's distraction activity, my mom actually found herself in Portland, so I met her out. And then shout out to Mama D, because we have a brand new Lululemon in our mall, and it's absolutely stunning. The Lululemon in the main mall, if you know, you know. It's gorgeous. And she picked this cropped sweatshirt up for me, and it is freaking everything. It's literally just a plain cropped sweatshirt. I actually have this sweatshirt in a berry color from last year. My brother gave me a gift card for Lululemon for Christmas last year, and I wear that thing to death. But the only thing is that berry color goes really great with like black leggings, and I have a couple colored pairs of leggings that are really hard to like pair a top with, because I tend to always go for colorful tops and I forget that I have colorful bottoms that I should find a neutral top for, if that makes sense. So now I have a neutral version of one of my favorite Lululemon tops, and it made me happy. And we went out to lunch. We went to Texas Roadhouse, which you guys know is my favorite place. So that was that day's distraction activity. And then this weekend we babysat my parents' dogs, which was nice. We got to hang out in their house. We had pizza takeout, which was great. So I would say all in all, every single day I feel myself getting back to being hopeful for the next steps, especially since I haven't had a follow-up with my doctor yet. Right now when I'm filming this, it's the time in between finding out that our transfer failed and then having our, what they like to call the WTF appointment. My clinic doesn't call it that, but I know that the infertility community does call it that. You would think it would stand for what the fuck, because that's exactly what it does stand for, but it actually in this case also can stand for why transfer failed, which is kind of a fun play on the words. But right now we're in between that time. So it's been nice to be able to process it while also distracting ourselves. But honestly, from that day when we took the at-home test, I thought that I would never feel an ounce of hope again. I never thought that I would feel okay again. It felt like, I don't think I can get too far into it. Clearly it's fresh. It felt like the closest thing to a death that I have felt in a really, really long time. And in that moment, I never thought that I would feel okay again. Everything felt hopeless. Everything felt so dark and so bleak. But every single day, and by doing these little things that bring us little pieces of joy here and there, has really helped. I am in a vastly different mental space than I was when we found out at our at-home test. And I think something that ironically does help with that also is that my cycle, the first cycle that I am having after my failed transfer, started over the weekend. And honestly, as much as that sucks, I thought it was going to suck a lot more. I thought it was going to hit me a lot harder, because that's just kind of a definite, like, yep, this did not work out. And I kind of expected all of those emotions to come rushing back. But instead it was actually something that was just looming over me. Like, there was nothing that I could do to stop my cycle from coming. There was nothing I could do to stop my embryo from exiting my body, as gruesome or as sad as that sounds. And it almost felt like I couldn't officially move on until that happened. So when it did, when it started, it actually was a massive relief for me. That might sound strange, but if you also felt the same way, if you had a failed transfer, let me know in the comments below. There were definitely really sad moments. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but there was a moment where I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning in a lot of pain. Jack noticed I was gone from the bed, and he came and he sat with me, and we just were sad. It was really intense. I know that we'll always remember that. Yeah, having that thing kind of looming over you that you know you can't control if it comes or not, and then having it be over is a breath of fresh air. It's a sigh of relief is how I would describe it. I know I'm not exactly finished being devastated about what happened with our first transfer. I don't know if I ever will be when I think about it, but I do not want to wait. I want to dive in straight away to a second transfer, but unfortunately we do have to wait for our insurance, because listed on our insurance we have 2 IVF cycles that would be approved. And so since we only used 1 transfer, I suspect that we'll be able to use another transfer that is approved by insurance, and that cuts us a massive break. So instead of paying up front and then looking to be reimbursed and all of that stuff, we want to wait and see if we can get an insurance approval, which means we don't have to pay up front. But that takes a bit more time. So having the cycle in between will be a nice break in general, and I've always loved taking cycles in between really intense medicated cycles to just allow my body to cleanse and regulate itself, as well as my mentality. Having a cycle in between to just cleanse the mental space to go into what could potentially be a really intense cycle mentally is really important to me as well. So I feel like I've been rambling for a bit. I really wasn't supposed to ramble this long when I thought about what this vlog was going to be. But yeah, I feel like this vlog was definitely a little bit random. I didn't plan on rambling as much as I did at the beginning, but as always, thank you for listening. I just felt like, even though there hasn't been a ton going on technically, I just felt like a good update, like an in-between failed transfer and before definitive next steps. There is just this weird in-between that I wanted to make sure I portrayed, like what mentally was going on, what we were doing to cope. So I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure to do so down below, because I would love to have you, whether you want to send good vibes for our growing family or you just want to hang out here, whichever you want. I love you all very, very much, and I will catch you in the next one, my friends. I'll see you later. Bye!